Evil doesn't always wear red. Sometimes she wears neon yellow and gives out orders like a queen. At our warehouse in California, the days begin early and end late. Steel shelves rise like tombstones. Forklifts growl across the concrete. The smell of rubber, sweat, and burnt coffee clings to everything. It's the kind of place where time stretches, where your coworkers become family or enemies, and secrets settle in the corners like dust. We're a mixed bunch. Guys from Fresno, Bakersfield, Michoacan, some quiet, some loud, some who've been here 20 years, and some who won't last till payday. But then there's her, Veronica, lead dispatcher. Not a high rank, not a corner office, but still power. She controls the yard drivers, manages the rotation, and most importantly, decides who waits and who gets rolling. She walks like she owns the building, wears neon safety vests like they're runway fashion, always has her nails done, always has that glossed-lipped smile. You'd think she was someone's spoiled daughter, not a mother of 4 scraping by on a warehouse salary. She talks often about her husband, 13 years married, Mexican-American, night shift, freelance on weekends. The kind of man who still brings flowers after all this time. But something's always felt off. It started small. At first we noticed how she lingered on the walkie-talkie with certain drivers, laughing a little too loud, speaking in Spanish, low and smooth. Not orders, not logistics. Something else. Then came the disappearances. Veronica would vanish. Not for long. 30 minutes, 45, sometimes a full hour. Always around the same times. Right after a delivery, right before shift change. People made jokes. She's out doing inventory, horizontal style. I didn't laugh, because I started noticing more. She'd return looking flushed, hair mussed, a fresh coat of lipstick, sometimes chewing gum that wasn't there before, and always, that smug little smile. I told myself it wasn't my business. What she did on her break, not my problem. But then came Carlos, one of the foremen, not the emotional type. We were sitting in the break room. He looked like he hadn't slept. "She's poison," he muttered. I asked who. Veronica. Then he told me. They were sent together for a 2-week training seminar on Ontario. Company hotel, shared transport. He says she started flirting the first night. By the second, they were hooking up. Everywhere. In the hotel lobby bathroom. In the parking lot. During breaks. I thought we had a thing. But they didn't. Because she moved on to his best guy. Then to another. Carlos wasn't heartbroken. He was humiliated. "She used me," he said, gripping his coffee like it might break. Like a chew toy, and when she got bored, she tossed me. He wanted revenge. Thought about telling HR, even considered calling her husband. But in the end, he did nothing. Just like the rest of us. Because the truth was spreading faster than a forklift fire. Drivers whispered stories. One said she called him over to check a broken signal light, then led him into a dark trailer and shut the door. Another claimed she sent him walkie messages with phrases like 15 minutos detrás de 6, 15 minutes behind Dock 6. There were jokes. There were bets. But underneath there was unease. Because Veronica wasn't just cheating on her husband, she was cheating the entire system. Guys she liked got easier routes, better schedules, more breaks. Others got overworked, written up, frozen out. Once I saw a newbie make the mistake of calling her ma'am in a sarcastic tone. The next week, he was on garbage duty for 12-hour shifts. And still, her husband would show up on holidays. His name was Daniel. Slim, quiet, always polite. Wore pressed shirts and work boots. Brought homemade salsa to potlucks. Joked with the kids. One evening during a blackout drill, he came to help set up chairs. Said he just wanted to lend a hand. That night, while helping me move tables, he smiled and said, "I'm picking up extra work on Saturdays now. Some auto repairs on the side. My wife's been tired lately. I want her to rest more." I nearly dropped the damn table. She wasn't resting. She was elsewhere. Busy. That night I went home and couldn't sleep. I kept picturing him, setting wrenches down, washing his hands in the garage sink, driving home in the dark, thinking about her. And she? Probably climbing out of a delivery truck, smoothing her hair, tucking her shirt back in. It made me sick. But still, I stayed silent. Then came the final straw. We hired a temp driver named Lucas. Young, 20-something. Didn't know anyone. Didn't know her. One day I walked past Dock 4 and heard voices, laughter, then moaning. I froze, but curiosity won. I looked through the narrow crack in the bay door. There she was, pressed against a stack of pallets, Lucas in front of her, pants down. I backed away, fast. Later that day, she walked past me in the hallway, hair tied, lips freshly glossed, wearing his vest. It had his name tag on it. That's when I knew this wasn't impulse. This was pattern. This was power. She chose who to use, who to reward, who to break. Veronica had turned that warehouse into her own little kingdom. Not with titles, not with pay, but with control and fear. Because no one wanted to be on her bad side. No one wanted their hours cut. No one wanted rumors spread about them. No one wanted to be embarrassed in morning dispatch. And so we all stayed quiet. Until today. I found a note taped to my locker. No name, no handwriting I recognized. Just 2 words. He deserves better. And maybe that's true. Because he does. Daniel does. The man fixing cars on weekends. The man who brings tamales to the potluck. The man who still believes his wife loves him. Only him. He doesn't know that she's building a little empire of lies and lust in the warehouse yard. But maybe he will. Maybe one day, someone will tell him. Maybe it'll be me. Or maybe you. Because if you've ever stood by and watched a good person be lied to. If you've ever seen someone give everything only to be betrayed behind their back, then you know silence isn't neutral. It's a choice. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to speak.